on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of The Days. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
How are you?
I'm doing...
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'm okay.
I'm doing it. We're really doing it, Red Band.
Yeah, you're surviving. That's what matters, man. Could you do me a favor and help welcome into The Days Grimm studio, Mr. That is a sorry-ass drum roll. Korey Mauck. What's up, sir? How are you?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
I'm great. I'm having the best day I've had in a long time, as opposed to...
Yeah, he got his first deer. As you can tell, he's still in camera.
I saw a picture earlier.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So I'm weird about that. I'm kind of glad that I was hoping we wouldn't bring this up, but I knew it was kind of inevitable. Is it weird that for my first deer, actually, I don't think I'm ever going to post a picture on my Facebook of my deer. Is that fucking weird?
I don't have Facebook.
Is that, or like, I don't think I'm going to post it to anything.
Why? Because you're afraid of people?
No, because everything I've learned so far, side tangent, and then I promise you guys are going to find out who Korey Mauck is if you don't already know, but side tangent, I think it's not disrespectful to the creature, but to me it's more than a post on social media.
I posted a photo of the 4 rabbits I butchered, and then I immediately sent a photo of the meat in a cooler. Somebody was like, nice before and after.
Yeah.
So, Korey, you want to give our listeners like a brief elevator pitch of like who you are and what you do?
Yeah. My name's Korey Mauck. I grew up in Poseyville.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Some Posey County.
No
have
one's
military
proud of that. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
I'm from there, so
valid.
I get it.
Have military background, law enforcement background. Did some work with Sig Sauer. Kind of got big into firearms and the training side, kind of through law enforcement, and then obviously at Sig. Now the company I work for, they do work on AC and DC electric motors, which is
sounds like
outside
Tesla
of
versus Edison.
Yeah, that's and also I forgot
way
to mention,
outside of my
we don't have
wheelhouse.
to say the name of the employer now because Tom does like to bring up his stripper stories every now and then. I don't want that to be affiliated with. No, I'm just kidding. But all jokes aside, you've done a lot. You have a tremendous amount of knowledge with like with firearms, military, law enforcement, and I really want to dig into that stuff. But what was, first and foremost, I already know, but a lot of our listeners aren't from Posey County. So what was it like being a youth in growing up in Posey County?
Well, for those that don't know, it's just very rural. There's really nothing there. Poseyville, to this day, doesn't have a stoplight in it.
Yeah, they got a gas station that has the subway in it.
I thought they had a
small Dollar Generals. That was like the big thing. I
thought they had one of those red blinking stop signs. They don't have one of those?
No.
Not in Poseyville.
Damn, I thought they did. It's been a minute since I've been
Wadesville has one.
Maybe I'm thinking of Wadesville, real close to
you're thinking
Poseyville.
of the turn to Poseyville.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. You're right. But yeah, big shout out to Poseyville.
Basically, it's just Nick's Industries. That's Poseyville.
Now it is, yeah.
So
back then it wasn't.
That means you went to Posey.
North Posey,
yes. Right? Is the only high school you can go to, and Wadesville goes there too, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else goes there.
It's really the northern part of Posey County, like Cynthiana, Poseyville, Wadesville, Blairsville, that kind of.
So what was that like? Huge school, right?
No, not big, not big at all. Growing up, I guess it's what you know.
Yeah.
I always tell my kids, I got 5 kids. I know. But I tell my kids, I actually feel sorry for them now. When we were growing up, it was, especially during the summer, you were up early and you were outside and played all day. You might come home to eat, came home to eat supper, if nothing else. And then you were back out playing tag or, basketball at the neighbors. And we were outside all the time. Like my kids are never outside. It's totally different world.
That switch happened during our generation.
Yeah, it was real close.
Till middle school. Once you hit middle school, high school, that's when kids started getting cell phones. That's when video game consoles
started to get big.
See, I didn't, we didn't have cell phones when I was in high school. I think I was somewhere in college, had my first course. It was a flip phone. You really didn't do anything. It was just if I had car trouble or an emergency, you'd use it. But
Yeah.
you weren't on it talking really to most people.
Right.
I didn't get a cell phone until I started driving, but they had been out long before
Really?
that. Yeah, I think they like the flip phones and stuff. They'd been out since
I think
was
my
born.
parents conned me. I got a cell phone and then I was grounded from it the whole time I had it.
Yeah,
They didn't want you just blowing all the minutes.
that's
I
right.
don't know. I did some shady stuff to get a phone.
No, and the weird thing that a lot of like, okay, so even I don't know how old you are, Corey, but like roughly your generation, the city kids versus like Posey County. I know there's a big difference between like, because I lived in the city and in the county kind of my youth.
Yeah, but all the city kids would come to the county to party, right?
Usually.
I'm talking about youth, like 8, 9, 10 years old. You go ride bikes and go look at dead bodies and stuff over the railroad tracks. You know what I'm talking about? But
I think you mean flatten pennies on the railroad
but
tracks.
I did
but
that.
the city kids, their parents would always say, "You be home by the time the street lamps come on." That's a big city kid thing.
Yeah.
In the county, I feel like when we moved out there, because my parents told me that when I was little, be home before the street when the street lights come on, your ass is here. And then when we moved out to the county, they were like, we don't fucking care. They were just like, don't get ate by a coyote, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, back to you said, I mean, it's riding bikes all over the place.
Yeah.
It's going to, your buddies, getting into his dad's Playboy stash and
Yeah.
you
Or
know,
Stroh's
building
beer
forts and all that
collection or
stuff.
something.
Yeah,
Refilling their whiskey bottles with water and thinking they don't know.
like
So
they
you-
wouldn't find out.
So you get to high school. What is what consumes a lot of your?
Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, that's what I was getting. at.
Yeah. Played sports growing up. I really, when I was little, I was not very good. But probably the normal sports. You did the baseball. I did, flag football. You didn't do tackle until you got into junior high. Back then, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't do, we
played
didn't do
flag
tackle
football.
football until middle school.
Yeah. That was,
EYJFL?
No.
Anybody?
I
no.
don't even know what that means.
It's the Evansville Junior Football League.
I wasn't around here during that time.
All I'm telling you is I was getting tackled and tackling kids when I was like 6.
And that's probably why you have permanent CTE.
We didn't have
CTI.
that.
Tracks
So,
out. Yeah, that tracks.
We had flag football, like I said, up
Nice.
until
That's
junior
Probably why
high,
your ASVAB
so-
was so low.
Well, it could be.
I only had 2 options whenever. We'll get there.
So going into high school, I assume your youth is like trying all the sports, but like when you get to high school, did you stick with like 1 or 2?
Yeah, so when I got into high school, football was my main sport. I did wrestling and then track were really my 3 sports in high school.
Those are like I feel like a lot of wrestlers do track,
Yeah,
like to keep the weight off and
well, that and
Stamina.
it's really they're both. You're using a lot of muscle, but over a long, like you're using a lot of strength. I'll say,
a lot of twitch muscle.
but you need to sustain that for a while.
yeah, and I didn't do long distance. I was a sprinter.
Okay.
so
Twitch
I did
muscle.
running
So that
back.
checks out
Yeah,
too,
so
yeah.
I was a running back. Defensive back, safety, and then wrestling. I got into that. My mom tried to keep me from football and wrestling and all that stuff. She wanted me to play tennis, and I did basketball too.
They actually
growing
do have
up.
a tennis court out there at North Posey.
Yeah, they do. But
Oh, like for the school or
Yeah,
just like in the
for
park?
the school.
Oh, nice. Dude.
I was good at tennis growing up. Like when I was little, before high school.
Yeah, it's a quick twitch game.
Yeah, I was good at tennis, but
Yeah.
I want to do football and
You
wrestling.
didn't like making the
that.
noises.
Nah.
It's kind.
Yeah.
I don't mean this like disparagingly, but it's kind of gay. No, I'm just kidding. But like I watched the Open U.S. Open whenever it was around a couple months ago. I don't know if nobody that listens to this podcast watched the U.S. Open. I guarantee.
I don't know. I got a buddy that's a big gambler, and if he hits it big,
Yeah.
he gambles on anything. He'll bet on tennis in
the
Japan.
the U.S. Open was just in October, I think, the beginning of October, end of August, somewhere in there. But I was watching it, and even the guys are to the point to where they're like,
Yeah, they've always been making noises.
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, dude,
I'm
this
out.
is getting a little gay.
Yeah,
And the
but yet
girls,
if you watch football with just the sound and you're in the other room,
the girls are aggressive too. Don't do that. He gets mad about all the innuendos they use in football.
I don't
like-
get mad about it.
Yeah, well, you like to make
just
fun of me.
think it's you call all these other sports gay, and if you listen to football sound only, pretty gay.
Right in the back door. Oh, he came all over
A big gaping hole, you know.
So what out of all those sports you did, what was your number one pick?
Football.
Football was your number one, and defensive back, and then offensive back as well.
Running back.
And you played that all through high school?
Yeah. So
what size were you? How big were you?
Man, I wasn't very big. When I was a freshman, I wrestled 135.
Damn, you and I were the same size.
And then by my senior year, I wrestled 171. I didn't quite weigh 171, but that's what I wrestled. Damn. And then, I lettered my sophomore, junior, and senior year in football, and then 4 in wrestling and 4 in track. So,
did you do good in high school?
Yeah,
in actual
grades.
Grade wise, I did, but school wasn't my priority.
Yeah, for people like us, you know what I mean?
I liked lunch. I liked
I like PE class.
I like PE class. I liked the social aspect.
I like talking
the girls.
to girls. Yeah. Dude, you and I were on the same. I think we're on the same.
And like
here.
Friday nights, and
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, that was.
Are you still into sports nowadays?
It's funny. I really
sports.
I used to probably like most guys. Saturday was college game day.
That's
and you watched all
it's
that.
almost religious. Yeah.
And then, you'd watch the NFL on Sunday and then Monday nights. And, man, when they started kneeling for the anthem, I quit watching.
Piss on it. That pissed me off.
And honestly, even now, like with college, they're all getting paid. And it's just like, I don't know, it's almost taken all the fun out of it. I really don't watch it much anymore.
Yeah.
I'd spend a lot of my Saturdays, I'd rather be hunting in the woods now. So.
I think I'm getting pretty. I've now found a new addiction that, football might go by the wayside.
And I have 5 kids, so there's not very many weekends that there's not some sort of event going on that we're not at. So
yeah,
I just don't watch a lot of TV in general anymore.
Yeah, and that's good, man. That's good. Do you let your kids watch TV and stuff?
We really don't have. We don't have like a cable subscription or anything like that. My buddies make fun of me.
It's the future.
We do a lot of that. A lot of the stuff we watch would be like on Amazon Prime, but we watch in Jim Shockey hunting or Meat Eaters. We watch a lot of hunting shows. I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, so they'll watch Paw Patrol or something like that.
I'd love Paw Patrol, dude.
We really don't watch a whole lot of TV. We're so dang busy.
Yeah. You know who I don't trust? I still don't trust Dora the Explorer, though.
No.
Ice got her. So Korey, what did you do right after high school?
Brutal.
Yeah. So after high school, I ended up going up to Wabash College in Crawfordsville. It was the all-guys school, so I don't know if that's not gay.
Are they at D2? No,
they were D3.
It's actually the opposite.
D3.
Yeah, they were D3, and they had a football team, right?
Yeah. So I went there and played football.
Hell yeah.
What did you study?
So it was a liberal arts college. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I was good at like biology and that kind of stuff. My grandpa was a biology teacher.
Nice.
So I kind of started in that. I only went there a semester, played my freshman year. I actually ended up starting as a freshman there. And then I transferred down to Murray State. Tried to walk on, and I just went down there and partied, and it was...
well, it's different, too.
So was partying your major? What was your minor down there at Murray?
Yes. Girls, I guess.
So one thing from like... I'm a big sports guy. I'm a huge sports guy, actually. I'll watch just about anything. I know a little bit about all sports, but what is the difference going from a D3 school to Murray's a D1 school?
Yeah.
So what is the... You played with all those guys, right? And started even, and you were kind of probably mid or high tier for that level. But then you get to Murray State. Did you get to see any of the other players or any of the other?
Yeah, and I did, yes. And it was really weird.
What was the gap? There's got to be a gap.
It's huge. Yeah.
And Murray State's not even. Apologies in advance.
No.
Again, they're not even a great D1 school.
No,
you know what I mean. But what was that gap like?
Man, so to put it in perspective, so one of my good buddies when I got to Murray, his name was Duke Salavea.
What a sick fucking name.
Or Duke Vinaw, sorry. Duke Vinaw.
Not as cool.
Well, his uncle is Joe Salavea.
Oh, okay. Salavea, way cooler.
Yeah. So anyway,
awesome
Big Duke unfortunately passed away this past year. Super good dude. He was a big Samoan. So he was 6'5", probably 360 pounds. And he ran like a 4.7 40.
Yeah,
like he was a freak.
Tom runs a 4.8.
Yeah. At the time, I was running like a 4.35, and for the first 15 yards, like he's right beside me.
Yeah,
just a freak of an athlete.
Yeah,
and
underestimate them.
And you just don't realize how big
And how fast.
How big and fast.
Agile.
It was a different ball game. But at any rate, so his uncle was Joe Salavea. And at the time, he played for the Tennessee Titans, like when we won the Super Bowl with was Eddie George as the running back. And
he's got champion in his blood.
Junior Seau was his cousin. Like,
that's okay.
You know, right?
So cheating, dude.
But
you should be allowed to play, dude.
And he was a freak of an athlete.
Yeah,
super good dude, and just as nice as all get out.
That's crazy. So I went to U of E, right?
Okay.
And I've known other friends of mine that have gone to like D3 and D2 schools to play ball, like basketball, football, whatever, random shit. But when I went to U of E and met those basketball players, like you're meeting, because they're a D1 basketball team, and they try to make a run for the bracket every year. They're legit competitor for the most part, but they're getting kids in from like Yugoslavia, those big Slavic son bitches that don't speak English. They're 7'9", just slam dunking every play. Like wildly different from any other experience with like D2 and D3 athletes I've ever
absolutely
seen. They're just monsters.
And even Wabash, even at the time, I mean, it was kind of shocking to me. You know, I come from a little place in Indiana.
Podunk,
and the number of guys that were coming from Texas, like those big Texas high schools.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can remember some of them talking about how many people would be at their Friday night football games down there at some of those.
1,500, 2,500.
Oh, thousands of people at some of those games. And, you know, I was like, we had, 400.
Texas,
you know, I mean, it was
Texas
just
football is like religious.
And so it was.
That's a thing.
It was pretty cool.
We'll get away from that. Tom hates sports ball, so.
I like watching fights. That's about it.
Yeah,
he's a big UFC guy.
Yeah, I got into UFC. I used to, I did it for a little bit. Scott Hensey was his name. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He went to Tennessee. He was a good wrestler, but he used to do those hook and shoot fights.
I remember the hook and shoots they used to do here in Evansville.
Yeah. So
did they do them at the Roberts Stadium before they tore it down, I think.
And then they had on the Bob's Gym on the west side, they had that little annex, and there used to be like a boxing ring in there, but they would do mixed martial arts stuff. I kind of met him on the west side at the gym one time, and he's like, you should come over and do that. So I started doing that, and I loved it. So I got into kind of that hook and shoot type stuff, and then I got into Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu.
I was about to say,
did
you get into the arts? Like
I did.
Arts?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So.
Yeah, that's the downside to MMA is that like there's no rules on like what practice of art. You know what I mean? What art you practice. When you step into that ring, if you suck at BJJ and this dude's a BJJ expert,
you're in trouble.
Buckle up. You know what I mean? Hope your stand-up's legit. You know what I mean? Like it's just, MMA is very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Murray State, what happens from there?
School was not my thing. That's what I kind of learned.
Yeah.
I ended up coming back and, got some different odds and ends jobs throughout the time. I did landscaping.
Did you get by?
Yeah.
Landscaping's kind of rewarding, though.
Yeah, I loved it. Honestly, I loved it.
Yeah. It's a nice job to have.
I enjoyed working and being physical, so that didn't really bother me.
It's cool that you can actually see the progress. That's like my favorite thing about landscaping is like it starts as this horrible looking thing, and then by the end of it, it's like you get a reward just from looking at it, yet alone the physical labor.
Yep. And then 9/11 happens, and
never forget.
Right. And my she's my wife now, but at the time, heck, I think we were just dating. But her dad was in the National Guard out of Evansville here at the 163rd.
Hell yeah.
And anyway, I really had no direction. I ended up going in there and signing up. And so then I eventually went to basic, AIT, all that stuff.
And this was for the Marines?
It's for the National Guard.
Oh, for the National Guard. National Guard, which is always Army, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Army National Guard, yeah.
And there's, one question that I always have that I always fuck up and get wrong real quick before we go further into the military. Can you define the difference between reserves and National Guard? Because I always fuck it up.
Yeah, I would fuck it up too.
I don't think I know the difference. Okay, well.
Yeah.
All right, scratch that.
I don't. I got nothing on that.
One's
sorry.
for like Katrina, like national. I think it's National Guard responds to national disasters and reserves deploy to different countries, but National Guard doesn't deploy to different countries. I think, to my knowledge, that's the difference. But again,
that may have been how it was supposed to. You know, but I mean, we went overseas, so
with the National Guard. Oh, fuck me, I'm wrong. Again, folks, don't quote me. I'm fucking retarded.
That's what Google's for. It's in there somewhere.
So what's like going into the National Guard?
Well, really, like as far as basic and AIT, it's not any different. It's just once you're done with basic and AIT, instead of going to whatever your first duty station is, I just came back home, and then you do your 1 weekend a month, your 2 weeks in the summer.
Did you have to go to Texas for your?
So at the time, the 163rd was a field artillery unit. And so I ended up I was a 13 Fox is what MOS, Forward Observer.
Hell yeah.
So,
Fister, baby.
Yeah, I was a Fister.
Let's go, dude. Everybody loves a Fister.
Yeah. Fuck my basic in AIT was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. So went to Fort Sill, flat.
Real flat.
Yeah. And we'd call in rounds, and it was awesome. So kind of from that, I enjoyed it and kind of found my niche because it was a lot of the stuff I was good at. I'd been yelled at from all the sports growing up, so that really didn't bother me.
Yeah.
All the physical activity, the running, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. Yeah, let's do it. So I ate it up. And so, I really excelled at basic and AIT, actually. So
you get married right when you come back?
So no, I was engaged by the time I left, but we came back. My wife's smart. So she ended up going to grad school. She's a speech pathologist now.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
She's real smart.
She's a smart lady, yeah.
Yeah, grad school is nothing to...
And so she was doing that, and so, we kind of waited till after she got done with grad school to get married. So
did you go on any deployments with the National Guard? You said
but it ended up being later. So I got back and I knew a bunch of people just from around the local area, and so they kind of ended up putting me into recruiting. And so I would go to a lot of the schools just because I knew so many people.
Did you hate it?
I liked it. I enjoyed talking to people, so I didn't really mind it.
Yeah.
And you try to get those kids that you knew needed it.
The knuckleheads.
Yeah. And
dude.
try to help them out. And
hey, kid, do some push-ups. Can you do 10 of them?
Let's
all right,
rock this.
get over here, dude.
Come here, buddy.
Come here, little fella. What are you, a size medium? Get over here.
So no, I did that for a while. So actually, like the first deployment that they had, I ended up missing because at the time, obviously, recruitment was hard. Because there was a lot of stuff going on. It wasn't that initial wave when everybody, you got all your gung-ho guys that wanted to go right out of the gate. And then it was,
go blow up somebody else's towers. You know what I'm saying, dude?
And then, but as it prolonged, like people are like, I don't want to go over there, so I know if I sign up, I'm going.
So you were recruiting 2005, 2006-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a grimy time. I remember that in 2005, 2006.
And so, like if you were doing the recruiting stuff, they really were keeping you back to try to get people to join. So I missed the first one.
Where'd they go? Do you know? Offhand?
I think Afghanistan.
It was Afghanistan?
Yeah, I think.
That's ugly.
I can't remember. I really don't remember.
But you do wind up going on one?
So I do wind up going on once. And before I get there, I end up getting into car sales and work at Expressway down in Mount Vernon
because you have to have a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah,
even in the National Guard because you're only doing the 1 week in a month.
Correct. So I end up getting into that, and Gary Watson is the guy's name. He was our general manager at the time. He was a prior law enforcement guy, and so I filled out my application to the Indiana State Police at his office at work one time.
What was his first name? Kenny?
Gary.
Oh, I know Kenny Watson. I think they're related.
Yeah, this guy was Gary. Anyway, so I fill all my application and stuff out to the state police, and eventually I get hired. I go through that whole process and get I guess not hired, but I get a conditional offer of employment where pretty much you go to the academy if you can pass and get through all the training and then get through your year of probationary officer stuff, then you would have a job essentially.
Let's take a quick time out there. Yeah. There's a couple of big pieces happening here.
Yep.
Right? These are two huge life moments. You're talking about joining the Indiana State Police.
Yep.
And you're about to go on this tour across seas, right?
So I don't know about this tour yet. But
you don't know yet. So let's focus on the ISP.
So
walk me through that. So for Tom, maybe have we talked about ISP?
I know that Brian has been wanting to get into the Indiana State Police since he got back home from the military.
I did. And, the pay is outstanding, or it was. I think it is.
That
still.
They got some new patrol vehicle too that they just released a photo of.
Is it a Tesla?
No, it's there's a Mustang, and then there's one of the new Dodge or whatever their like version of the Ford Explorer.
The Durango.
Yeah,
or the Durango.
Yeah. They posted a new.
So a lot of folks know that if you want to join Metro, you can go knock on their door right now. Metro, boom. You can go knock on their door right now, and they'll take you like almost immediately because Metro needs people like out the wazoo. But for whatever reason, I think you and I briefly spoke about this previously on a Ruck and Rosary. Shout out to Paul Lindbergh, who runs those every last Saturday of the month.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But we spoke a little bit about like why in the hell is it so difficult to get onto ISP? Because like I had gone 3 years in a row to those workout camps up in Princeton and applying 3 years in a row and was out of the military and
a thoroughbred.
Yeah, just a natural. I performed well. Like my scores, like I PT'd better than the bottom. 2/3. I was in the top third. Like I was just in my prime, and I never got a call. I don't know if it's
there was humor.
Yeah,
and I didn't have.
No, I had that.
You said it was the tattoos, and I didn't even have the tattoos yet.
Yeah, for a brief time they had like, and I don't know if it was kicking guys out, but they were.
For forearm tattoos?
Yeah, when everybody was sleeved. But
yeah,
I know when I went through, I can't remember. I think.
What was your process like? Let's start there. How tough was it to get to that candidacy letter that you got or that offer?
Well, you do your, you've got your physical tests that you got to do, your push-ups and all that stuff. You had the written tests that you had to do. And I think that kicked a lot of people out. You had to do your background check. That always gets a lot of guys. It would be insane the stuff that you would see or the people that would come to do those. We had a guy one time we arrested at the post when he came up to do his interview because he had a warrant.
That's crazy.
That's
it's
just
funny though.
Crazy stuff.
I always found it interesting.
Like, how'd you not know?
You got a bench warrant. You're signing up for ISP. Like
crazy,
bro. No. You belong at the jail, like in the jail.
Come on in for your interview. So, they're doing the background and see, they're like, yeah, come on in for your interview. And
zip him up. Dude.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, you're coming
So,
with us.
When you do that, when you apply, do they do like a lie detector test and all that jazz?
Oh, yeah.
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 And they're like, how strict was your drug use and all that jazz? Or
yeah. So from what I can remember, from what I can remember, it really wasn't like this gotcha question. You kind of have you guys ever done a lie detector test?
I haven't. I would like to.
No.
Well,
was it a polygraph that you did?
Yeah,
like the standard chest rig and the little
Yep. So you come in and they kind of just go through like their standard of questions. And so like on the drug stuff, hey, like, they're asking about drugs. So you're like, hey, I've tried marijuana or this or that. And they're like, well, when was the last time you did it? For me, I did it in college. So it's like, you're talking years.
Yeah.
Right. It's been years.
In the military.
So so like when they ask the question, I've told them that it's been years. So if they say, have you smoked marijuana in the last year? And I say no. And it goes off, well, then they know I'm lying, right?
I would fail.
So you just, hey, it's been in 6 months. So then they would say, hey, have you smoked marijuana in the last 6 months? No. And so that it's kind of it's structured. It's not.
They're just making sure you're being honest and upfront with them.
Yeah.
And they do tell you that, like, don't try to wiggle your way out.
Yeah,
don't tell them what they want to hear.
Correct.
Like, there have been guys that have gotten hired that have been like, oh, yeah, I illegally took somebody's prescription one time or something.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, guys are like, shit, I don't want to tell them I've never done drugs
you wouldn't
or
be
whatever.
To that point if they weren't taking you as a serious candidate.
Correct.
Though. So you might as well just
exactly. But
open it
a lot
up.
of guys, freak out on that part, and
you
don't.
You breeze through ISP.
the process is long. So you would do something, it might be months before you ever hear, and you kind of think, well, shit, I'm out or whatever. Yeah. And then you'll get a letter or a call that says, hey, this is when the next step is. So, I mean, I eventually make it through all of that.
What do you do to deal with those moments? Because like I'm in a similar situation right now where
stand by. He's frozen. I just now saw that.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like when you're like you want this opportunity real bad, and then you like do the next step, and then you got to wait a month, and then you get to take another step forward. What's that? Like what are you telling yourself during that time? I mean, you're still in the National Guard, so you're still.
And I still have a job and engaged at the time, and so I mean, life is moving along. But yeah, you're like, man, I don't want to be doing this car sales thing forever. Like, I really hope I get this opportunity, and you just kind of keep hoping and praying that you get it.
Yeah.
So.
No shit, man. And you're also in your 20s at this time.
That's 26.
Yeah, you're in your prime, dude. Just out here. You're still physically active at that point. Like, you're working out like outside of the National Guard and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Staying fit. Yep. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah. It's hard to bust down a 26-year-old that's physically active. Those are the ones that are just so mechanically internally driven that like. Yeah.
So do you get confirmed on ISP before you go overseas?
So I end up getting all my letter and everything, and the academy started. I think it was like in the middle of June in 2007.
Damn.
And it's 6 months is the academy, and so it's up in Plainfield, Indiana. Yeah. So I spent. And so at this time I'm married. I got married.
Congrats.
Yeah. So I was married at this time. We'd got married in April, at the end of April. And so hadn't been married too long. Well, I'd been married a little over a year. Got married in April of 2006.
Damn, creeping up on 20 years, brother.
Yeah. Got married in April of 2006.
Hell yeah.
And then we had our first son, Ty, in February of 2007.
Hell yeah.
And so by the time I get onto state police or heading to the academy, Ty's, 5-6 months old.
Got another one on the way probably already.
Not at that time. But so I've got got my first one and heading up to Plainfield. But it's, you're up there Monday through Friday. You get off late Friday, come home on the weekend. You're home Saturday, and then a lot of times you'd leave either Sunday night.
And that's before 69 was built too. So it was like a 4.5 hour drive.
That's 41 and 70. Drive. It sucked. Yeah.
We actually we spoke with, was it Bishop about Plainfield? Didn't we speak with him on that in his interview? I believe we did, and he said he didn't go to the Plainfield office because they had built the southern one.
Yep.
And then the southern one that he went to, he said, "Oh yeah, we got to go home every night."
Yeah, no, we were up there.
So you were there like a full work week.
Yeah.
What did let's kind of focus on that for a second. So the academy, like, so you're there Monday to Friday, but what does your typical day look like? Or is it just 16 hours nonstop balls?
Yeah, they're long days. Yeah. It's funny, like when you first get there, it's a paramilitary organization. So, it's a lot like basic. Yeah. You first get there and that's running and screaming and push-ups and you're doing all that stuff, all that silly stuff.
Yeah, They get you as soon as you get off the bus.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not off the bus. You drive yourself there. But, you get there and, they're just waiting.
Did you get and you just get there for the first time?
Yeah, I got OC sprayed there, all that good stuff.
Got tased.
Well, at the time, we didn't have tasers. So,
no kidding.
So we didn't get tased.
Did you get bit by one of them pit bull puppies?
No, I got bit by our SWAT canine, but that's later on in the story.
I'm sorry, they use German Shepherd puppies. Yeah. That's right.
Ours was a Belgian Malinois.
Malinois are even worse than the Shepherd
sometimes.
What
he got me.
No, that's wild. So like 10+ hour long days. You're just
and it would just depend. Yeah, so the first little bit you had traffic law, criminal law, DTs, firearms,
and it's very scholastic, right? Yeah, like there's actual coursework. Like you have to go to these classrooms, sit down, go through like an actual lecture.
Oh yeah, it's like I said, criminal law and traffic law was a big part of it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of IC codes, so Indiana codes for your traffic and all that stuff,
And then what was the hardest part through this whole duration of, I assume they probably break it up in phases, like in the military, red, white, and blue phase, or like whatever. Phase. Do they have phases like that in the 6-month time frame?
Yeah, so it's very similar. Like when you first get there, the staff, the troopers that are at the academy, the cadre, they're running everything. And then as you get farther along, you start getting squad leaders and platoon leaders and squad sergeants and, all that stuff. And so, because you all get broken in different areas. So like one group may be at firearms the next, however many weeks, while the other group's doing defensive tactics. And then the other group is doing evoc. Or whatever, so it would kind of all rotate around and
nice.
So do you
crash reconstruction and all that stuff? So
you graduate from ISP before they call
you. So we're so it's like the middle. It's probably like October time frame, and so Monday through Friday, I'm at the academy all week.
October, you're about 5 months into
about
this.
halfway through.
Okay.
And so on one of the weekends, I have our weekend drill. So I work Monday through Friday at the academy, get off, and then Saturday, Sunday is our 1 weekend a month. Well, they tell us that we are getting the whole brigade of, was it the 63rd Brigade or whatever for Indiana, is getting called up, and we got to start doing pre-mob stuff.
You tell them to piss on it?
Pretty much. I was like, hey, like,
I got a job, brother.
And you can't just, like, if I leave, it's not like I get a job. You would have to apply and go through all this. And I pretty much told him that you're going to have to come arrest me. I'll be up in Plainfield. I'm not going to be hard to find, but that's where I'm going to be.
I'm 80% through the academy. Yeah. You're not fucking yanking me, dude.
And it ended up being a pretty big fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, had to go to battalion and...
Well, and... God rest his soul, he just passed away not too long ago. Frank Smith was his name. He was a trooper that lived in Poseyville. And anyway, he's the guy that pinned my badge on me, but he went up and was talking to Senator. He got himself kind of in some hot water for sticking his neck out for me, but he pulled some strings or helped me so that I could finish. So long and short of it, so I do end up graduating, but... So while everybody else is kind of getting excited towards the end of graduation, I was the opposite, because as soon as I was done, I got a deployment.
You just skipped out on all the pre-mob.
Yep.
The deployment was like December, January or something. So as soon as you graduate, you're out the door.
So we graduate like the beginning of December.
Yeah.
I'm home for 10 days, and then I'm meeting the 163rd up in Indianapolis for a big ceremony, and it's on.
So when you fly out, we always like to kind of ask the people that deploy, like, do you fly into Germany, or where'd they fly you into?
Yeah, so we originally, then we went to, was it Fort Stewart? Is that in Georgia? Fort Stewart, Georgia? Anyway, we went to Fort Stewart and did like a bunch of training there. And then we ended up flying from there. We flew up to Maine, and then from Maine we went to Shannon, Ireland to get gas.
Nice.
And then from Shannon, Ireland to Kuwait.
When you flew into Kuwait, did they do that? What type of landing is that?
Combat landing.
Not there.
Not Kuwait. Whatever country you were headed to, they probably did one. Yeah,
so then from Kuwait, we went up to Mosul is where we were at. And flying into Mosul, you think you're dead before you ever...
Well, yeah, that's what we always... I always love to hear, like, because they don't tell you about the combat landing.
They don't fucking warn you.
No, you just thought you got shot out of the sky. Like, you're falling.
The engine's cut off, and you're just like...
You probably got
cuts back the other way.
You got dudes sleeping, waking up.
Oh, waking up, yeah.
Arms like floating in the air. You're like,
I don't know what's going on.
What is going on right now?
This ain't good.
For the folks at home, reference Justin Vrieslar's podcast. We do an in-depth dive on the official layout of what a combat landing looks like. But you did get to experience that. That's quite an adrenaline rush.
Yep.
So you're heading into Mosul.
Yes.
What the fuck is that? That's a big city.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Had one of the biggest airports and runways. So we did, the group that I was with, we ended up doing convoy security.
Yeah.
And so...
Is this like route clearance?
No. So we would escort... we would escort between 125 and like 200 semis. And we'd run it from Mosul to Q West was the
When you say
base.
escort, are you like in Humvees and
we're in Humvees and all that
front
stuff.
or back, or?
And then you're escorting all kinds of just supplies and stuff all over. Now we
RCPs and stuff,
and now a lot of the stuff we did was all local national drivers, so it was a chaos.
Funny, or rather, let me ask, was it funny that like you signed up to be this Fister forward observer, kind of gathering coordinates and data and knowledge, and then shooting down the tube and running and gunning these boys down from a very long distance away, to that having been your job to, hey man, we're going to strap you in a Humvee, good chance you get blown up by an IED or shot at within 100 meters.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Was that just not like a total head tilt where you were like, "What the fuck are we?"
Yeah, and so again, I just spent 6 months training, and so I was squared away, I guess, as I would say. I mean, you could probably imagine some of the guys that are in this group.
I don't want to say turds.
No, and not all of them are. I mean, there's a lot of good dudes.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are young kids that have no life experience whatsoever.
Right, you got 5-6 years on these guys.
Yeah,
that you're running
And
with.
they're not applying for ISP.
They're not applying for ISP.
Maybe they're not
they're
even
just
comfortable with firearms.
Correct.
Necessarily. You know what I mean? Like in their hands.
So I guess unfortunately or fortunately for me, so I get stuck up in gun truck 1, and so we are looking for IEDs. We have that Sparks system. Have you ever the roller?
Yeah.
So we had that on our Humvee. I mean, that was our job, was to find IEDs.
Who was the guy that we talked with that did something similar?
He rode in one of those. So later on down the road in the MRAP era, I don't know if you were in still when they were doing the MRAP.
So we got our Humvee. We hit an IED one night and got it totally blown up, and then we ended up getting an MRAP. So much nicer.
When the MRAP almost entirely replaced the Humvee, they came out with a bunch of supplemental vehicles that came along the same MRAP family that I believe were also international, and one of them was a single driver, single person vehicle, and it looked like a fucking cockpit, like a miniature skinny long MRAP, and it was a V-shaped hull, and it had the big mine rollers on the front. And this dude's only job was to drive in the front, and there was no gunner, there's no nothing, and it was just this guy and his truck, and his whole purpose was to get blown up, and they blew up all the time. But they also had the candle box in the front too, if I'm not mistaken. So they had the candle box for thermal,
and we had those.
And they had the mine rollers. So like they were constantly getting fucked up. And the great thing about these vehicles was the way they were made to blow up. They were easily replaced, like the parts were easily replaceable. They were like very modular. So like the front end would blow out and they could have that vehicle turned around on that road in half an hour or like up to an hour. And then it's
we didn't have that.
Reference the guy that we had on. I'm blanking on his name.
I can't remember what they're called.
Terrible
either.
on his name, but like he was like the guy that would just map out. Like he was like the shotgun, the guy that when like the sprint car races would be like the guy doing the hand signals.
So we usually, I mean, it was kind of, we call it the TC, the truck commander. You typically had your driver, truck commander, and gunner is what we had. Now we all, I mean, we would rotate in because just. We found that if you did the same job,
complacency.
You get complacency. So if I was up, in the gunner, there was times I'd be like, man, I don't remember seeing that from over there. Like, that's odd.
Yeah.
And it might be something that he saw the night before, but it was something
I might. Or you're doing routes and you're not looking at the same map four times in one day. So you're like, oh, we haven't gone this way in a while, so let's try this.
I just didn't know if any of your previous training, like for, like you're talking about like commands forward and stuff like that, where like, did it help you map out these locations? Like, did it help you pick up any things? Like this guy that we had on before, he said he had like a whole playbook, like everything mapped out. Hey, this is here. I didn't know like if it even though you weren't doing what you were trained for, if it translated somehow.
I mean,
TC.
Obviously like the forward observer stuff. I mean, map reading and being able to kind of know distances, like visually known distances.
Yeah.
I mean, all that stuff helps.
What about first time going out of the wire? I feel like a lot of people remember their like.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you never forget.
Yeah. No, it is.
What was your first? What was that? You don't have to like go into detail or anything, but what was it like?
Yeah. So we did. We would run up. We ran up to the north, up to a place. It was called Harbor Gate. or that's what we called it, I guess. And it was right on the border of Turkey.
Okay.
So we ran supplies up that way. And, when you start doing that left seat, right seat stuff, I mean, just you're there and they've been doing it for a while. And so every little thing, like you're freaked out, I mean, well, you know how it is in Iraq. So you're looking for IEDs. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're looking for IEDs. Well, everything looks like an IED over there. I mean, they don't have...
And anything can be an IED.
And anything can be, but they don't have, an allied waste that comes every Thursday to pick up trash. Like there's trash all over the streets. Yeah. There's dead animals all over the place. There's just, if your car breaks down, it's just, that's where your car breaks down at.
Yeah,
so
you don't have a car anymore. You're homeless.
It's hard to wrap your head around it coming from over here. So, I mean, you're just, it's overload.
Yeah,
everything, you're just like, everything is going to kill you. And until you just get in there and start figuring it out, and there's only one way, and that's just go.
Well, even then, when you do, sorry not to cut you off, no, but just to add to his point, like even when you do it outside of the left seat, right seat, and then they leave, and you're now on your own. Even once you get into it, like you'll find that like 3 or 4 months in, like at least with me, like you still like a little bit of complacency creeps in where you're like, okay, yeah, that I know it's weird, but that is normal. Even though that's there. There's just so much goofy shit over there that you'll there's going to be something you have never seen before ever there, and it could be 4 months into your tour, and those kind of occurrences happen all the time. Like, oh, there's a lady hanging out of her window. That's fucking first. And,
that's unusual.
It's just weird shit.
Well, I remember. So, so when we're doing all these, it's the same route. I mean, it doesn't. It's not like you would think like that you'd pick MSRP. These. You don't pick another route. Like this is the road we drive every night.
Yeah.
And so along the way, there's right. Well, I mean, we're not hiding. There's a 200-something vehicle, all lights on. Yeah, it's all at night. But we got these airplane landing lights all over the place because you're looking for wire like this in the in the sand and gravel roads. Because that's easy. But you got these checkpoints that a lot of times the Iraqi military guys are at. Of course, they are coming out and you're handing water. You're being nice.
Yeah.
And I can remember the first time coming through and you stop and like they're back in their little. I mean, it's about the size of a phone booth. Just a little checkpoint, and they are not coming out. And you're just like, all right, boys. Get ready, something's coming.
Yeah,
and sure shit, we'd go down and you'd find an ID right down the road.
Yeah,
so.
God, it's almost like they were planning it.
Well, you mentioned like one of your trucks getting hit. What was that experience like for you?
So we were coming back from.
And it was the truck you were in.
Yeah. So
like you said he was in the front. So.
Yeah, we were coming back and it was kind of a section that was. We called it jokingly Fluffy Bunny Way. They have all the different MSR, whatever.
Yeah.
Like all the IDs we ever found, I mean, that was the hot spot.
Yeah. So give it a cute name.
Yeah, give it a cute name, right?
Yeah. And, Fluffy Bunny Way.
So we're coming back, and it ended up being, I think they says about 60 pounds of homemade explosives, and they'd use crush wire.
So as soon as you crush it, it makes
as soon as that mine roller went over it, made the connection, kaboom. And it took that Sparks. I mean, that Sparks thing weighs a couple, 2,000-3,000 pounds. And I mean, it just blew it to
plumb off.
Oh yeah, and shoved us up. I mean, you could feel the.
But you were yourself.
Yeah,
fine.
all three of us were fine.
Did the truck go up, or was it just a?
Oh yeah, it went up. We were probably all knocked out.
Yeah.
And, so what happens like when the front truck gets hit? Too. What do you guys do? Like, do you just get in the next truck in line, or?
Yeah. So I mean, they come up on the sides, and you have to be wary because like in all the training that you were going through leading up into that, a lot of times they'd hit that vehicle just to stop it, and really the main thing is. For the next group that comes
to swarm
to come and get you out, then they're popping off others to kill guys, and so like you really have to watch, what you're doing and pay attention.
What's a fun thing? What would be a fun exercise for Tom? Like, so, and I was gonna make this point, and I'm glad you asked the question that you did. So like, if you were the Taliban, or if you were ISIS, or if you were some bad guy and you're watching this 5-mile long convoy go through, right, on a road where you have strategically placed, they're coming through, you knew yesterday, and you've strategically placed your bombs along that route they're going to take, you start thinking about it stop thinking about it like, oh, we're blowing up the first truck because that'll stop everybody, because it gets way more complex than that, as I'm sure you're aware, because they'll try to segment you, right? Sometimes,
you want to separate the pack. I mean,
sometimes they'll hit the middle truck. Like if it's a trigger, they'll trigger the middle truck, and then when they start to make their whatever, defensive posture, defensive maneuvering, then they hit that lead truck. Then they hit near the rear truck. Now you've got everybody.
Yeah, you're causing chaos. You're separating it. It's the same thing as like warfare from all the times. You're going to pull back a little bit, and then you got a trap set.
But it's not. That was going to be the point I wanted to make. Was it's not always the lead truck that gets first. It's very random, and they do it however they're set for that route.
We've talked to a few people too, where they have like makeshift crosshairs out of stones in the distance to line up to wait and to hit it
for the EFPs.
Well, I was getting ready to say, so when I got there in 07, kind of late 07, then 08, there was that big group that had pushed all the stuff like up out of Baghdad. And so a lot of the bad stuff was coming up north into Mosul. And that's what you started seeing was the EFPs. And I mean, those frightened me.
Walk me through what an EFP is, because I don't know that we've talked in great detail what that is on this podcast.
I think it stands for explosively formed projectile, but they weld like a copper piece on the front of this.
We've talked about this
whatever.
Before.
And so
because they go in the cab and the copper gets melted, but then it cools down and bounces around the cab. It's like
when that explosion goes off, it melts that and forms it almost. We were always taught almost like a javelin looking thing,
molten ball. Yeah,
and I mean it comes through. That up armor like a hot knife through butter, and as soon as that comes in, it just pulls all that hot gas, and it's not a pretty.
It's not pretty bounce either. It goes straight through.
Oh, but it's that hot gas and stuff that comes in. I mean, it's a showstopper for those guys.
Was a nasty.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Afghanistan for this?
For Iraq, we were there. I mean, for that full year of 2008.
You did 12 months.
Yeah, just
and
shy
how
of it.
Often were these convoys from one end to the other? Was it like, hey, we got it here, let's load up?
Yeah, so we did. I mean, they were essentially every other night you'd run up and then stay the night, because you'd run all night and then sleep during the day.
Damn, so you're doing this about 180 times.
And then you'd run back the next night, and then you'd pick up whatever and then back up. And
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Did you ever have you remember a point in your deployment where you got to camp fucking whatever, or JSS whatever, and you actually got 3 or 4 days of just somebody's loading the trucks. I can just sit and breathe for a minute. Did you ever get an extended stay at a camp?
No.
It was always just boom, boom.
Well,
boom.
There was one night we found going to that route, we found, was it 2 or 3 IEDs? So, I mean, you call route clearance, they come, and it's a whole process. It takes forever. EOD's got to come out, blow it up,
charge it.
They leave. We go a little bit farther, find another one. They turn around, come back, blow it up, and then we go up a little ways, find another one. Well, by this time, it's 3 or 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. We're not making it to where we're going. So we end up turning around and going to Q West was the name of the base in Iraq. And end up going there and staying and then finishing that route the next night.
Golly, so that's the closest thing to a multi-day break that you got.
Yeah. The multi-day break I got was after we got hit with the ID. They let us stay off for 2 or 3 days. So.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice little breather.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
So what's it like coming home from that first tour? You got that adrenaline itch? Are you going straight to ISP? Are you going to the next branch? What's that like?
Yeah. So, get back. They have, it was pretty cool coming back. So, I was with state police, had a good buddy that was in the National Guard. He just wasn't on that deployment that was on the state police. So a bunch of troopers came up and escorted all of us back down from from Indianapolis. Of course, when we got to Evansville, I mean, Lloyd Expressway was lined, all the overpasses, just people everywhere. This community is pretty awesome when it comes to that. So just a huge, show of support for all of us that were coming back. And, getting back and seeing the wife and the kids and stuff was awesome. So
yeah, I tell people all the time, you'll never have a happier moment in your life. You know what I mean? Especially coming from somewhere kinetic, like seeing horrible shit very frequently overseas. And then when you come home, you'll never be more thankful than in that moment ever for the rest of your life.
And it's really weird for me because we didn't lose any guys, we didn't really see any, loss of life. At least my group didn't. Most of the stuff that happened, if it was bad, it was because we did something stupid,
Right.
So in that aspect, we were very lucky and really didn't come back with much. Like I saw worse stuff once I got back and I'm doing the state trooper job.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's roll into, so you come back and you don't really have that like cool down period. You're right to like the thing I always like to mention too is like, I feel like there is this, like a overlap between military and police work, but the military dudes, at least when you come home, like that's on the other side of the world. But in being in police, like when you clock out, you still know that like, hey, there's crime happening 4 blocks away from my house. There's stuff going on. Yep. So like, what was that like for you?
Yeah. So, get back and I had to do like a little refresher because I had, I spent 6 months and I was gone a total year. I mean, it was a brain dump trying to learn all the information for going over there.
Laws have probably changed.
Oh yeah. And getting updates on all that. So, so I get back, kind of do that. And then I start my FTO year. My probationary year, so I was actually like a year behind the guys I graduated with on some.
Did you have to do that thing like Bishop mentioned, where it's like you ride along with one guy for a few months?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's that FTO
year
period.
Long?
Yeah, ours was our probationary time period is a year long. So yeah, you didn't ride with guys for a year, but yeah, I can't remember how many months it was. But yeah, I had a primary FTO and then like a secondary and a third or fourth. So yeah, you would ride with 3 or 4 different people.
You have a story from that FTO time that sticks out to you? Like we had Mike Kennedy in, who you probably know, and he was talking about like one of his first runs, was somebody had stolen a purse and they were like chasing after him, and that's when he got his, like that was like his fuel to like, he's like, yeah, this is for me. Like, what do you have like a story like that?
Oh man, the one that pissed me off the worst. So I was doing riding with one of the guys, and so I had to drive like my personal vehicle to meet him at the post.
Yeah,
because we don't have take-home cars yet because we're still in that probationary time frame.
Still a newbie.
Yeah, still a newbie. So, I drive to the post to meet him, and we go and we do our shift and stuff. And he's like, it's been a slow night. We'll drop you off. Go study these things and whatever. So. Drops me off back at my vehicle. I still have, even though I don't have my own take-home car, I've got my radio, so I'm still listening on my way home to the track. It's not 5 minutes after he drops me off. He gets in a vehicle pursuit, foot pursuit, all kind. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
You missed out on all that.
You son of a bitch. Yeah.
And then you just go home and you're studying.
I was madder than hell.
Fucking parallel parking.
Yeah. So that was bullshit.
Right. So
that's one thing I remember on my field training. So
God, that's insane.
So you get that first year done. You get your own vehicle.
Get your own vehill. Yeah.
What's that first commission? That first call by yourself. I mean, you probably had the first call by yourself in that year of probation, right?
No. I mean, not till you get your own car. Okay. You're with your field training officer, and then once you get your commission, then you're kind of on your own.
So what's that first call? Yeah, what's that like?
You can't wait.
What's it like? Was it just something silly? Like,
I don't even remember what the first one was, to be honest with you. But you just can't wait.
Up.
Oh, you just can't wait to go stop a car or whatever it is.
Foaming at the jowls, just
ready to run.
Ready to run. Ring, dude.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, brother. That's so sick.
So how long were you in ISP?
So I was in for 12 years.
And what was your segment? Because Indiana's broken up into like 12 segments that ISP patrols.
So
right?
I worked. I was out of graduating, I was supposed to go to Jasper District, which was District 34.
Further north of us.
Yeah. But I put in a transfer while I was overseas to District 35, which is Evansville. And so Evansville was Pike County, Gibson County, Knox County, Warwick County, Posey County, Gibson County. So brother. District 35 covered those counties.
And you did that for so
that's why I started. Yep.
Oh, that's where you started.
Yep. So I worked Vandenberg County is the one I worked.
How many years?
5 or 6 probably.
I got a funny question here. So when they run your plates, what all pulls up? Is that able to be discussed or?
Ooh, yeah. So when I run your plate, I mean, it just tells you who the vehicle's registered to. That
like
stuff. But if
it
says you and you've been stopped for speeding or whatever, it's gonna.
Previous.
What about charges that have been like
expunged?
Yeah. Does that still?
No, not on your driving, not on your driver record.
What about concealed carry? This is an excellent question. We're just gonna rattle these off.
Yeah, man.
Does it tell you like, oh, this guy's CC? I'm gonna walk up to the truck or the car and be like, hey, where's the weapon? Or
no, I don't remember it showing that. I don't.
Because it's on your license.
Yeah, I don't think it's on your license. So I don't know what it does now, but it didn't then.
It didn't.
Yeah,
no
see,
way.
Now's kind of wild because they have conspiracy theories, which we were jokingly talking about before.
Love it. Let's go.
They got those cameras now on the side of the roads with solar panels, and they were talking about how now, say I drive from Illinois to Warwick County, it's gonna pick up like, hey, this camera caught him here, this camera caught him here. I know the route he's been. I didn't know if that's actually accurate or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but I wouldn't put anything past.
Yeah, they're using ISPs now using helicopters to patrol the area.
Yeah, that's sick. You hear about that?
We used to have.
They got those little. They're not. We just talked about it with Alex, and I can't remember what kind of helicopters they are.
I don't know.
Here nor there.
So 5-6 years in ISP.
So I did 12 years with ISP, but I spent my first probably 5 or 6 years working Vandenberg County, and I worked third shift, so I worked midnights. Chasing DUIs. Realistically, that's where all the fun stuff happens. That's where you want to go.
You're having no issue hitting quota, right?
No, there's no such thing as quota.
There's not.
He didn't wink.
Whoa, come on! Don't bullshit me. Is there a quota, brother?
No.
Talk to me.
No,
talk to me. Does
There's
Metro
not.
have a quota?
Metro. Dude, I think it's funny. What's funny is the Chandler Police Department. They release their stats every year. Dude, they're like 3,000 people pulled over, 1,000 speeding tickets issued, 500 seatbelt tickets, 1 cop car stolen. No, they don't issue that, but.
But yeah, working midnights Vandenberg County was awesome because really, EPD and county really take the calls, right? So I was kind of free to just go do.
How do checkpoints work?
Yeah, is that a thing? Tom is on fucking fire today. You are so much more locked in than I am. That's a good point. Because it's frequent that you'll hear hey...
Dude, my dad used to tell me in high school, be careful going home. I heard there's checkpoints on XYZ road.
So even then still, Evansville Watch, the well-renowned Evansville Watch on Twitter and whatever, Instagram...
He refuses to come on the podcast.
They did. And we're talking them into it. Don't worry. We're going to get them. But they'll say, hey, look out, traffic stopwatch, EPD, EVPD on North Green River. And I've been driving through those areas when I've seen that post, and I'm like, there's no fucking stop. Is that a thing? Are they doing traffic stops?
We used to do...
I've never been through one.
We used to
do a checkpoint either. I always was told that they have to set one up, and there's got to be a turnoff within line of sight.
So we would set them up. We didn't do a lot of them. You'd do them, I don't know, 2-3 times a year. But yeah, you'd set up a DUI checkpoint, and to your point, so. I can't remember all the language, but, a lot of people were like, hey, it's unconstitutional. You're stopping me without any justifiable cause and all that stuff. So, but I guess, how's
it? New Year's. That's just a cause enough.
Yeah, dude.
But anyway, so yeah, you have
St.
to,
Patty's Day,
you would have to, I think we had to, I never set it up. It was always the guys hired me. I always worked them, but anyway, I think they would have to announce, like you said, this is the location of it. You had to make sure that there was, multiple places. You had to put up signage prior to, and they, people could turn and avoid it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And just because they turned and avoided it, you can't that doesn't mean, oh, go stop that car.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people would just come through, and very rarely did you find anything on it.
They'd have to be completely blasted.
And so they would drive into it. But I mean, you'd get some, but by and large, and then you would have guys that just kind of were in that area. And now, so as an example, let's say
you're looking for somebody swerving after they turn off, or
it could be anything. So when you're impaired, you do, the reason they do the test that they do is when you're impaired, it's hard to do multiple things at the same time, which is why, the walk and turn, you have to do this foot and count out loud and look down, and it's got to touch heel to toe, and you got to take so many steps. So you give a list of multiple things that you have to do. Well, when you're intoxicated or impaired, I'm like, okay, I remember I got to do this and I got to do that and got to do that. But then you might miss these other three things that you're supposed to do.
Slow?
Huh?
What if I'm just a slow person?
Yeah, he has autism.
Well, then you'll be fine because you haven't had anything to drink. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we used to do those,
bro.
Yeah.
So how long are you doing
He said
this?
12 years he was an ISP.
Yep.
12 years, but you're SWAT at some point.
Yeah.
How long into your ISP career do you get in?
So, I got it on in 2014 on SWAT. So I worked midnights in Vandenberg, then went to Posey for a little bit. And then I got big into training. We ended up going we had Glocks at the time, Glock 17, Gen 3s. And then we went to the Sig Sauer, the 227, which is a double stack 45. And I had just become a firearms instructor at that point in 2010 when we got those.
Oh, yeah.
And so I ended up being on kind of our South firearms instructor team. And we traveled all over the state doing firearms, for months.
Hell yeah. So you had a leg up.
So I started that's kind of how I really got into kind of the training and all that stuff and becoming real interested in firearms and SWAT.
What does that look
like?
Let's say somebody that works for ISP, I'm sure they probably already know, but maybe they don't. God bless you. Somebody works for ISP and they're like, man, I've always thought about SWAT, but I don't even know the first thing. What does that transition even look like? Like, how do you go from being just like a trooper to, okay, now I'm going to go SWAT?
Yeah. So, it was always hard to get on because there's only so many spots. And a lot of times when guys got on it, they stayed for a long time.
Until they die or retire.
Right. And so, unless a guy left and there was a spot open, then you weren't getting on it. And so really, like at the time, I just, I was fortunate enough, again, doing the firearms instructor stuff. So when we would have an academy class up at Plainfield, I would go up and help and do a lot of the firearms stuff. So SWAT guys are always doing different sections of firearms up there. So that was always a good opportunity to meet some of them. And kind of get to know them or
rub elbows,
just say, hey,
kisses.
I'm interested. Cause like everybody else, they want to know who is the next guy that they can get. So
when I know SWAT guys go to that town that we mentioned in several episodes, that
Muscatatuck.
Did you get to do that? Does the ISP go there? Is
it
only SWAT?
So no, it's not only SWAT. So that's where our what's it called, the quickening, I think is what it was, like our 3-day, when we graduate.
Sounds like a ritual.
So when we graduate, to graduate the academy, like one of the last things we do is we go up to Muscatatuck and you run, I don't know, it's 48 hours, 2-3 days of just nonstop. Huh?
Has a civilian, do civilians get to go there?
There's civilians that work there, and there's a lot of
sometime just to look
role
at
player stuff. But anyway, we would go up there and that's where we did like our final big scenario. So, when I was graduating the academy, we went up there and it was, you had your radio on you all the time and you'd get a call and it's, hey, there's a abandoned vehicle here, and you'd go check it. Or, hey, there was a disturbance call at this address, and you drive it's a town. You drive and you'd go to that address and go up to that house and knock if it was a noise complaint.
Welfare
and they had all kinds of scenarios that would play out. from active shooter ones to, I mean, you name it. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, what was different about ISP versus SWAT? Like, I know, like the SWAT guys, they had to rappel from the Ford Center. I don't think the Ford Center was a thing in 2014 when you.
Yeah, we used to. I mean, we would rappel off all kind of stuff. You know, we did that. Indiana State Police, they do that Respect for Law camp, and so we do a lot of demos for kids and stuff. I mean, we'd rappel off buildings and all kinds of stuff. We'd rappel off the ones up at Vincennes and USI. So I mean, that was part of it. I mean, really, the biggest thing. You know, when I got on SWAT, used to prior to then was it was part time, so you'd still do your road trooper. You know, your daily stuff, but if there was something that happened, those SWAT guys would go do that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember when they started, but they ended up going full time. And so that really upped our capabilities, because when we were full time, I mean, I didn't do road trooper stuff.
Right.
I mean, it was training and shooting and fighting. And
I remember talking to Mike Kennedy, and I was like, dude, like, your Evansville SWAT, how often does Evansville SWAT get called? You know what I mean? Because like I just don't think they would get called daily. And he's like, no, sometimes it's, you know.
I get called a lot. And we would get called. So there was 13 of us. So I was on the South SWAT team, and we covered the southern 32 counties of Indiana.
Yeah, and there's something happening in one of those 32 counties.
So we were pretty busy.
Because you're going to like barricades too. Like if there's a barricade, you're getting called.
Yeah,
because you don't know what you're dealing with. Or
correct.
At least the troopers.
And a lot of it would be, you know, these smaller agencies that didn't have those capabilities would call us.
Battering rams and different tools.
Yeah, we had the Linko Bearcats and all that stuff. So,
you got like a core, like a story that stands out from your time. In SWAT?
You got like a favorite SWAT story, dude.
I'm trying to think if I tell him.
He's restricted, dude. We're starting to get into that redacted shit. We gotta.
There's just so many fun. SWAT guys are.
They're a different breed.
They're a different breed, and I mean, it was work hard, play hard.
Oh yeah.
I mean, You know, our South team was pretty known. I mean, we were pretty tough on people.
Did you ever have to do an active shooter, like a real life active shooter?
We were up at one of the race details. I can't remember if it was the Indy 5 or the Brickyard 400, and there was a school, it was a junior high that had an active shooter at it. Just happened to be when we were up there, and a bunch of us went running up there. It was over by the time we got there, but had to clear that whole school. Maybe Noblesville Junior High or something like that.
Damn, dude.
But we had to do that. Now, I mean, when I was on, I think, yep.
All right. Hey, sorry about that. We're back, folks. But yeah, so we were talking about active shooters. You kind of had to help clear that entire school, we think, up in Noblesville, but not for sure.
I always want to ask, it seems like every cop has a naked man story.
Ooh, yeah, you ever get a good, like, Bishop's Got Fingers, and then Mike
Kennedy had that naked guy on, like, PCB.
Yeah, we had I'm trying to remember what it was for. I mean, it was so we would do a lot of, high-risk warrant services, and this guy was on it, and yeah, by the time he came out, he was naked. And we were like, why? I don't know why. Well, because it took him, it probably took him 5-10 minutes before he came out. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't have thought to put clothes on. It was the damnest thing.
In his defense, I feel like, and I relate to the naked man, because I feel like the primary defense I feel like is like nobody wants to fuck with the naked guy. You know what I'm saying? So you think you have a leg up in the fight, but lo and behold, there's some special weapons dudes out here.
I don't want to say the reverse, but
you're
like
more into it.
Well, no, you're not more into it, but like you're going to end it a lot faster.
Or you can tell me,
that
bro.
dog bite's going to hurt a lot more.
It's going to end a lot faster because no one wants to mess with the naked guy.
We got a Malinois back here that loves.
No, we did have a Malinois.
So what's after SWAT for you?
So really, I mean, I do SWAT until I
How many
until
more
I
kids
leave.
do you have while you're in SWAT?
While I'm on SWAT, man, they're all over the place. I have 5. I have 5. So I had the first one right before I go to basic.
Yeah.
I find out that she's pregnant with the second one, like
in Iraq.
The day before, like the day we get hit with the IEDs, like when I find out she's knocked up with.
Then, you text her the next day, hey, is this a concussion or do...
Are we really? And then, sometime after I get back from overseas, we have the third.
Yeah.
And then we have a hiatus. And then actually we don't have the next one until I'm at SIG.
Damn.
Okay.
So let's get there. Yeah.
So on SWAT all the way up until I leave there in 2019.
Now you get to retire at this point, right? Or you're close.
I'm vested. So
what does that mean?
So I still have, I'll get, when I turn, I think it's 50, I'll start drawing a pension from the state police, but it's only for the time that I was there.
So you didn't get you're not getting the full 20-year retirement or whatever?
Correct.
And your military time doesn't add to that and help out?
You could buy it. I don't think I did, though. They make it pretty expensive. But you could buy your military time, or if you were at another law enforcement agency, you could buy some time.
What was your, sorry to derail for a minute, but I want to rewind. We've mentioned with Bishop, we've mentioned with Paul, we've mentioned with several guys in this lane, but the wife, the wife serves almost just as much as the person in active duty.
Yeah.
So what was how were you consoling her through Bishop's talked hey, there's an active shooter, your husband's on site, what was that relationship? How did you guys manage that?
I remember, when I was overseas, I would just always tell her, no news is good news. We're going to be out and about. I don't know when I'm going to be able to call sometimes. We at least had Skype and some of that stuff that you could use.
Yeah.
But
hey babe, join this Call of Duty lobby and I'll talk to you.
Yeah. But
hop on Halo for a second, dude. Let's get in here.
Yeah. Just always told her that no news is good news. And then, when I got back, starting on midnights, she really was a single mom, even though I was there. Yeah. I was sleeping during the day and working at night. And, without sounding like a shitty dad or husband, that wasn't my thought. It was man, I want to go get this bad guy. I want to chase this thing. And then you get on SWAT and it's the same thing. You're chasing that next.
It's a high.
It's a high.
Yeah, it's a high.
And we got, I got my first police action shooting. I was on for a month and a half. And so, we ended up, it was weird because I got on. And really, most guys, even on SWAT, that's still a very rare thing to get in an actual shooting. It's very rare. Most of the guys that were on the SWAT team, I think you had a couple guys. But by the time I'd gotten off, we'd been in 8-10 of them. So, I was on the first one after a month and a half, and you have to take a week or two off, and I come back, and the next detail, another guy gets in one. And we were in them all the time. It was
were
weird.
Were they always lethal, or were these shootings? Could they be quote? Not, could you discharge a non-lethal round and then that be considered?
Yeah, no. These were. Not all the guys ended up dying, but
the rounds. You know, what I'm saying?
No,
a lot of law enforcement is non-lethal first, right?
Yeah.
So if there's
this guy pulled the first one, the guy pulled a gun on us. And so he got lethal rounds.
An interesting point is a civilian. I know, if somebody comes into my house and I shoot them in the leg instead of shooting to kill, that's a different, when it goes to court, that's a whole different thing. Right?
Yeah, in law enforcement, you're just taught you shoot center mass. You don't shoot to kill. You don't shoot to, you just aim center mass because
they teach you.
Yeah. And the reality of it is, I know you guys got into a little bit with Bishop when you guys were talking, but most cops are not gun guys, and most of them aren't the best shooters. It's actually pretty scary.
Question to add on to his in the civilian aspect. Am I better off? I have someone breaking into my home, middle of the night, 2 a.m, right? I get out of bed, grab my Glock, got a Glock 40 sitting by the bed, grab my 40 cal, get out of bed, find the noise. And I find the guy or girl or whoever that's in my home, whatever they're doing, maybe they have a weapon, maybe they don't. It's dark. I can't tell. But I have the right to discharge my firearm at that point. They've broken a window or they've broken a door because everything's locked. So they've forcibly entered my home. I'm able to discharge legally my weapon, right?
In the house, yes. Because Indiana has a castle doctrine.
So now follow-up question to that question. Like Tom said, am I better off tagging homeboy or homegirl in the leg or shoot to kill? No questions asked.
And like I said, I wouldn't even say shoot to kill. You're just aiming at the biggest part, which is center mass.
Okay.
Again, I've not seen you guys shoot, but it's hard.
I'm pretty good.
I mean, you know, you see the silhouette targets.
Yeah,
and it's, you know, a lot of people struggle to hit that.
Right.
And you're talking when it's not night and somebody didn't just break in your house and there's a lot of stuff going on. So like trying to hit somebody's leg, most people aren't even going to hit.
Well, the guys on the streets they're calling me the Doe Slayer 5000 now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal.
I know.
I'm here to stack
from
bodies.
25 yards. Get out of here.
It was 30.
Oh, okay.
Come on, bro.
My first doe was for 200 and something yards.
Don't be like that. We're sharing, not comparing, as Paul would say.
Okay.
No, that is interesting, though. So
what leads you to get out of SWAT?
Yeah. So I guess what really started leading me out was, you know, all around that time. I mean, you had your the Michael Brown stuff in St. Louis, and like just the job of being in law enforcement was getting pretty hard. Like I said, we had been in a bunch of police action shootings, and just the times that it was. I mean, you really weren't, as shit as it sounds to say. I mean, you didn't know if your department was really going to have your back. I mean, if it, you might be, I might do something. Vietnam. Yeah, I might do something that is within all my training and the scope. And if it looks bad enough, and I mean, they were gonna hammer you, or whatever. I mean, you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and so guys are just like, man, it's not worth it. And
and then to your point, shout out to Vietnam vets, man.
Yeah. And so anyway, I had
that was the deciding factor, though.
Well, that was part of it. You know, that was part of it. The other part, I don't think I would have left the state police if it wasn't for that job. I ended up having, again, a good buddy of mine. You know, when he retired from the state police, he got that. He started at Sig Sauer, and he was their law enforcement sales rep. And he was a good friend of mine. And I just used to always give him shit when I'd see him or talk to him. Like, hey, man, like, you know, in 10 years when I can retire, like, hang out there until I can come do that job, dude. Right?
Hook it up. Yeah.
Anyway, one day, he pretty much reached out to me and said, hey, one of the supervisors, you know, left Sig, and he's like, I'm going to put in for his job. I don't know if I get it, but if I do, my job will be open. So pretty much, you know, put up or shut up. I'm tired of hearing you
what
say
position
about
was
it.
That?
So it was the law enforcement sales rep.
Hell yeah.
And it was for this region 4, and is at least how they named it, and that covered Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, and Michigan.
Damn.
So anyway, he ended up getting
to pick their gun. Like, are some guys like, no, I'm just a Glock fan.
It depends what department. Most departments, you know, good, yeah. Most departments, they're most departments, like Indiana State Police, we went from the Glock, and then we went to SIGs, and so that's just the issued gun you get. You know, most departments are like that, but some of them aren't. You know, some of them have an approved list of guns, and you can pick off that list. I mean, Chicago PD was one that was like that. So,
dude, I think Chicago PD should be putting switches on their guns to compete with some of these street guys.
Agreed. Also,
those guys are awesome. Shout out to the range guys at Chicago PD. Some of the best.
Dude, yeah, those guys got big balls.
Shout out to the Dan Ryan Expressway, which I will refuse to drive ever again. What was the name of that town? What was the name of that town? You don't. I guess we don't have to say the department, or you don't want to. If you don't want to answer this question, that's cool too. We talked about it, but it was the group that a couple of the folks still had wheel guns.
Yeah, well,
they still had revolvers as their.
I think it was at the time. It was Chicago PD.
Was it Chicago PD?
I think at the time. I mean, they still had like 70 something guys that still ran wheel guns. Yeah, that's cool.
Running revolvers.
Dude, that's hot. They got cowboy hats too.
No.
Just a Stetson, a speed loader, and God on their side, dude. Just hoping for the best.
Some spurs
on the 357 Magnum, man.
Hell yeah, dude. That'll do some work.
Do it.
Yeah, I hope you're good with your shot placement. No, so you get to SIG. What's that like? Slow down. You know what I mean? Like just immediately no adrenaline.
No, total opposite.
Yeah,
it was total opposite. So yeah, I mean it. You know. So I go up to the factory, you know, do my week up there, which is, you know, I mean, at the same time, like I'm this little kid from Poseyville, Indiana. And I mean, to me, Sig Sauer is like one of the largest gun manufacturers in the world. I mean,
reputable,
it was like to be there was just. It was
up until recently. They had some flack recently.
But you're getting to see how the juice is made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was really. I mean, I still can't believe it. I mean, just such a cool experience. I don't know how I lucked out. But yeah, I can remember being up there that first week and just walking through that facility and just state of the art. It was amazing, and some great people that work there. So yeah, I do that, and it was pretty much. Here's your computer. Here's, this is how you input your stuff into Salesforce. And it's like, there's your 5 states and good luck. I mean, and it was just running.
No shit.
Oh, it was crazy.
From
all over.
Yeah. Department to department.
What's that look like? Do you have like one of each gun in your vehicle and you're like, here, try this, try this?
So at the time, I mean, it was more than one of each vehicle. Or more than one of each, and so the good and bad about the SIG was, I mean, it was pistols, rifles, suppressors, optics, ammo. I mean, we were loaded up with stuff, and then all the different variations of handguns and all the different variations of rifles. I mean, it was chaos. Oh yeah.
Optics. Yeah,
it was, and so yeah, you'd run around. A lot of times. I would get emails from a department or a phone call from a department, or you'd meet them at a show. And it's like, hey, we're in these, but we're looking to get new guns. We're going to test them out. Can you come up? And you'd start, I'd just start setting stuff up in whatever state and try to get it as close to possible and running.
Parts of that transition from like action to desk?
I mean, yeah. So, I mean,
steering wheel,
the hardest was just, going from really law enforcement into that sales role,
commercialized,
and not really knowing, and there's no, I mean, everybody kind of has their system. And so I take a lot of the stuff that you learned, like from the FTO process, you talking to the other sales guys, like, hey, what are you doing? Or how do you do it? And kind of getting pieces at work.
Like ex-police officers?
Most of them are ex-law enforcement, which helped.
Yeah, because I figured it'd be a pain in the ass, like a civilian trying to sell.
Yeah, we had one of the guys. He was just a gun guy. He wasn't prior law enforcement, and I think it would be harder because you go into those law enforcement agencies, like they're already, that's why one of the stories I was telling you. Yeah, they don't trust you. They're like, salesman. What do you know about guns?
Fuck! All right, can you tell that
story? Oh yeah.
So this is so funny. You do go.
Yeah,
it's
so. It is amazing. So, I mean, I got to go all over the place and see some pretty legit firearms facilities.
Ohio, wasn't it?
It's more than one. I mean, it's the similar situation that's happened at multiple locations.
I love this. Yeah.
And so, guys don't know me from anything. I'm just the SIG sales rep, and I was going to a police department. I think it was in Ohio.
I think it was.
And there's a lot of their SWAT guys. So, I mean, I'm pretty particular on how I have all my stuff set up. I mean, I am testing my guns, all my show guns or the test kit guns and stuff.
Well,
that I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'm cleaning them. I'm
just
100%,
just tight,
100%.
Yeah.
And I can shoot pretty good. I have a lot of rounds downrange, and I can shoot pretty good. And so yeah, I get all my stuff squared away and go to this agency for this demo, and it's a typical SWAT guy, big old dude, tight shirt, comes up, throws some rounds down range, and he's like, your gun ain't zeroed. I was like, man, really? I was like, shit can happen. I was like, I usually,
maybe I dropped it.
Yeah, I will.
Dropped the case or something.
Yeah, it's like, stuff happens. I was like, I test them before I come. I was like, do you mind if I shoot? And he's like, no, not a problem. So I grab it and. I just burn it down. I shoot a hole about like that in paper and just chuck that thing on the desk. And I was like, oh, she's fine to me. And you can imagine, it's a bunch of SWAT guys, and that dude had to leave. He just left.
Yeah, he retired.
He's like, I can't stay.
You told me that story.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. He didn't like it. And so yeah, I mean, I would do that stuff all the time. So.
We're coming up near the end here. I kind of do you want to?
Well, let's transition to what's life like after SIG.
So yeah, well, so I was there from 22 and I left, or I was there from 19 till 22, 23. And I actually left, and was going to do
SIG.
Yeah. I love their stuff.
Is that the 365?
Yeah, it is.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'll let you check it out here.
Yeah. We can't brandish it on camera, I don't think.
No,
YouTube doesn't like that.
Yeah. Frowned upon.
But yeah, no, I ended up leaving there and was actually going to be the head firearms instructor for Bishop over at Lawman, and started that, and it ended up not working out on my end, not anything on his end. So I ended up having another kid and.
Damn,
to do some different stuff. So,
and I think you had a reverse vasectomy for this other kid, right?
Before the last two, yeah.
Yeah.
No way. They untied it or
flipped. So I had it. Yeah, I got tied after the first three.
Yeah.
And then untied, and then we had the second two.
You were like, I haven't spent enough money yet.
Yeah. It's weird.
Dude, kids change your whole perspective.
Dude, don't do this. Not right now.
Yeah, no, we're going to do this. I have a kid. You have a kid.
I got 5.
Yeah. Brian
has 0 kids, and I get grief for it from this guy all the time. I'm 35, no kids. He won't leave me alone.
Dude, I think it would change Brian's life.
Oh, 100%.
I'm 35.
Yeah,
dude.
but like
my wife is 33. It's
I think coming from another guy whose dad wasn't in his life.
I'm just saying, my wife, my youngest is 2 and I'm 43, so.
Good Lord Almighty. God damn, you look good for 43, brother. Holy shit.
But I was going to say, like, it changes your whole perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you sit there and you look at, like, hey, my parents did this. I want to be different. And then you get the same age your parents were when they had you. And you're like, I kind of understand. And
Jesus Christ. I've heard this argument from him 1,000 times.
I think Brian should have kids.
I think you should shut up.
Kids are the best.
It would be different if you had like an Afghani kid story that's like, that's why I don't want kids, but you don't have that.
Well, I actually have tons of Afghani children's stories if you want to know them. They're disgusting.
Cue a long segment of bleeps.
So the, not the kids, the stories. Jesus, you get what I'm saying. So that being said, since we're talking about kids and you want to shove it in my face, in the beginning for both of you, question for both of you, in the beginning, before you ever had children, before you ever had B, did the average kid just gross you the fuck out? Like everything they did annoyed you and you were grossed out by them, and it was just like a nuisance more than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
Does that question seem brash?
Yeah.
When
No.
I say that? Or,
No. So
that's how I feel.
When I was
you're like a kid whisperer. Like for me, so like the kid thing, like I always wanted kids, but like I was like a baby whisperer. Like people would have crying babies and they hand them to me and they're like, I don't know how you got the kid to fall asleep, you know? And like I would always be the guy at the kids' table playing with the kids and stuff, which you do. Like you do great with kids.
Yeah, because I have autism. We're on the same level. Dude.
That's the beauty of it. You get to play with the same Lego set.
It is true.
We're building the same pirate ship, bro.
And then as I get older, you're like, he needs a gun. He needs a new gun. It's a new gun for Dad too.
He's 6 years old. Let's get. No, I'm joking. But dude, I don't know. I don't think it's in the cards for me, bro.
It's all good. I just like to peer pressure Brian from now on.
Kids are the best.
I think it would take him to the next level.
Jesus Christ, this guy.
I think so.
You see what I've been working with for the last 5 years. All right, back to freaking Korey. Jesus. So you were doing the lead instructor here. It doesn't pan out. You were like, I need to spend more money. Let's have a kid. So you do so. You're spending a bunch of money. Where do you go? What happens then?
So I end up going and working actually for a buddy doing some construction type stuff for a little bit. And then I end up having everything's with relationships. You know, I have another buddy that he started the local facility here. And like I said, they work on AC and DC electric motors. They had a sales guy that ended up going back to an old job. They incentivized him to come back.
Damn. There's like a common theme to your life. You like started out like hardcore, and then you just like slowly started to fade away from hardcore. Do you see that?
And anyway, he reached out to me and he's like, hey, I need a sales guy. And I was like, man, I don't know anything about motors. He's like, I don't need you to know anything about motors. I need you to know how to talk to people. I was like, I can do that.
You do.
And so I ended up starting there. And I've been there. It'll be 3 years, and
that's crazy.
And it's been pretty cool. I've learned a ton.
Well, speed round before we get to the last question. What advice would you give to somebody that wants to go into the military?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Advice for somebody that wants to go into the military. Well, my son,
Guard, active duty,
my son, he just went into the Navy. He left in July.
Oh yeah, brother! Don't touch our boats. Yeah. Don't touch our boats.
He's doing a Navy corpsman.
So what advice did you give him before he went?
Man, I told him. So a couple things I told him. I told him if he's going to go into the military to try to find a job that will relate to outside of the military.
Solid.
Medic.
Yeah.
And then I said that, the other thing, I was like, if you want all the good stuff and the best training, I said, you got to go spec ops.
There you go.
And so he's trying to do Navy SARC.
It's
like their spec ops stuff.
Oh, shit, yeah, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, so he would get attached to guys like Paul.
Hell yeah, dude, doing some dark shit.
He'd get attached to those raiders.
How just waking people up in the middle of the night, and then it's like.
So that's kind of the route he's trying to go. Yeah. That's the route he's trying to go. So
hell yeah, brother.
What about
and thank you for his service? That's not easy to give up a kid to something like that. You know what I mean? So
super proud of him though, man. It's
good for him, brother.
What about advice for somebody that wants to go into law enforcement?
Spicy. Here we go,
man. So. That one's a little bit, they're both hard, I guess, but that one's kind of hard. I don't know how it is now. I can tell you from just the guys that I know that are in it and kind of all the different agencies and guys I met when I was at SIG. I mean, it is a hard time to be into law enforcement. I mean, you ain't getting into it for the money. Yeah. And so my best advice for those that are going to do it is, it always amazed me the number of people that were going to get into law enforcement that have never been punched in the face and can't shoot a gun. Like, if you want to join law enforcement, go get in some fights at your local boxing area or whatever. Like, do some mixed martial arts, get hit in the face, learn to protect yourself.
And like Bishop said, spend the money to take the additional courses, get squared away.
There's no reason you should go to that with any doubt of not being able to pass your firearms exam or anything like that. I mean, I just remember guys, it wasn't like your entry stuff with 20 push-ups. Like, the number of people that came and couldn't do 20 push-ups. It's like, what'd you think we were doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. And so if you're going to do it, be in shape.
Yeah.
Get punched in the face and be able to shoot. So
what about SWAT? That one too.
Really the same. I mean,
it's just at a higher intensity.
Just at a higher level.
Yeah.
But man, I was some of the guys I got to do training with when I was at SIG. One of the guys was prior Team 6 dude, and I got to spend a lot of time with him and shoot a lot of rounds. And the number one thing that they did is just they did it all the time until you couldn't screw it up. Like,
became nature.
And there was no fancy, hey, this is the secret move that we learn when you get it. It's just
tilt your shoulder.
It's the basic.
It's the basic stuff, just all the time, really fast.
10,000 hours.
Yeah, it's just this. It's over and over. It's the repeatability. So
when they
and
do
consistency.
it looks like a high.
They're
speed.
Not even. They're doing it like you and I tie our shoes. You don't have to think about tying your shoes. You don't even have to look at them. You can just tie your shoes.
Yeah.
That's how they are with the gun in their hand. Like, they're not even thinking about it. They're thinking about these other things that they're looking for.
So they can process
and this is just
automatic. They know they have a jam before there's and
they feel it.
They're counting targets as they're clearing.
And I'm nothing special, but I mean, I can be shooting a rifle, and I know when I'm out of rounds because the recoil is different.
Yeah,
I get the pushback and I don't get the return.
Yeah,
because the bolt locks to the rear. I mean, I can feel it. I don't even have to think.
Yeah.
You want to ask the wrap up?
Yeah. And then on this journey that you've been on, probably more specifically through a large portion was law enforcement. Was there ever like a really dark moment where you were like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm hanging it up. I'm putting in my 2 weeks or resignation or whatever the official term is. And in that dark moment, more importantly, what we care the most about is what was your motivation that, like, you woke up the next day or 5 minutes later, you're like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm going to keep going through this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't know that I've ever had that just, man, I want to quit and give up thought. I mean, I can remember being, more specifically at SIG. Like, I can remember being in a hotel room. I hadn't been doing that job very long. Found out the wife was pregnant. And it was like, I was like, God, what have I, did I screw up? I had 12 years on the state police. I was, I was on SWAT. I was doing good. I was, heading in this direction. And here I jump ship and I'm in some hotel room in some city. I have no idea. My wife's pregnant at home with 3 other kids. She's running all over. Like, what am I doing? And, I can remember calling her on the phone and she was like, pretty much stop being a pussy and just keep at it. This is what we're doing. And I'm so glad I did because, the lessons I learned at SIG have carried over into other things and not just job related. I mean, I made good money at SIG and that's not what it's all about, but, for a kid to come and really not have any college, be a cop, and to really be pretty successful at a big place was something. Yeah. And so really that made a lot of my decisions and jumps easier. I mean, we haven't even gotten to conspiracy stuff, and I know this is kind of the off ramp, but
with you and Tanner on conspiracy,
we're gonna have to. I gotta have you come back in. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, without getting on the.
Tanner would be good.
Dude, Tanner was like, dude, we got to talk about conspiracies. I was like, hold up. Let's get an episode.
Can we get you and Tanner together?
Yeah.
Just freak the fuck out for an hour and a half.
You wait till we take these off. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's because I was at SIG when COVID happened. And so,
I know where you're going. Yeah, so, I get you.
I mean, I learned a lot. And honestly, we didn't get into a lot of it here though, but even just here pretty recently, just like the spiritual aspect of my life and finding some, some
dude, we can get you back
so.
in like 3 to 6 months and we can go down this whole spiritual journey. I know Brian's on one himself.
Yeah. That's how
in there.
Really, that's kind of met both of you guys. Right. Is that one of those Wrecking Rosaries? And
and again, shout out to Paul.
Yeah,
Paul
isn't Christian either. He's actually a Satanist.
I'm not a Satanist.
I'm joking.
I'd like to throw that out there on the record.
Just for the record, I do not love Lucifer. No, man, I'm super pumped that you were able to come in. We are going to have to get, it's probably going to be less than 6 months. I want to get you back in.
Yeah, no, I'd love to.
For sure.
Yeah,
we'll do a total, you and Tanner, it'll be fucking sick. But yeah, dude, you could have done anything else on Sunday evening. You know what I mean? The Sabbath.
Loved it.
So you came in. You drank some water. We drank some scotch.
I should have drank scotch. See, I got a lot of stuff to get into.
I gotta make you feel.
Dude, we'll get you in for a part 2.
But dude, I seriously can't thank you enough.
No, I can't thank you.
Your story is amazing. I love it. We'll get you in a couple months and we'll have another one, man. So, short of that, this has been another thrilling episode of The Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm, and
this has been Korey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye. Conspiracy theories, dude. COVID, is that what you're leaning?
Oh, dude. So this is no shit.